Can you hear me?
Yep.
I think I need another earphone because I'm hearing this tapping noise in my ear. Are you hearing that?
No.
Okay. We're not recording on. Oh,
We definitely are.
hey, girl. Hey,
Hey, boo.
how you doing?
I'm good.
That did not sound believable, but all right, we're gonna go with it.
Just a long day. That's all.
Yeah, for sure. How was your weekend?
I was sick all weekend. Well, not sick. So on what day? Thursday, my job made us go to this fucking shipyard celebration bullshit, and I had to be outside. It was windy, and something flew in my eyepaws, and I was literally rubbing my eye for like 3 hours trying to figure out what was in my eye.
Oh my god.
I wake up at like 1 o'clock in the morning. My eye is like crusted shut, like to the point I had to take 2 fingers to like peel it open.
Eesh.
So I started thinking like, oh, they still have pink eye because that's what happened tomorrow. So then I woke up around 6, same thing, crossed it over. So I called my supervisor, like, oh, I think I got pink eye. I'm not coming to work because pink eye is highly contagious. Go to the doctors. They're like, well, we're going to take a sample. We don't really know for sure, but here's some medicine. So the medicine they gave me was for pink eye. But they were like, they weren't sure if it was pink eye or not. Only for them to tell me today that it wasn't pink eye.
So what the hell was it? All these days later?
Yeah, they just got my test results back to me, and I was like,
girl, your eyeball could have been on the floor by now, and I still getting results.
I was like, well, so basically they said I tore my cornea, and
what?
So I did have an infection from the tore cornea, and that's why the crust was coming out of my eye, like that was my body fighting the infection.
Oh my god!
So it wasn't contagious, just gross. And then Sunday, I had a stomach virus, so I basically just threw up in all day. I threw up like 4 times on Sunday.
So what the hell do you do with a torn cornea? Like what the? How does that?
You sit in the dark.
So, but does it repair itself, or do you have to have surgery? Or like, what the hell do you do with that?
Oh, I guess it wasn't that serious because they just gave me some medicine, and it was the same medicine I would have got if it was pink eye. That's why I was like,
so maybe the medicine or the body heals itself like a cut. That's crazy. That sounds hella painful.
She said if it was still like crusting over on Monday to come in, but on Monday I went to work, so.
Right. What's scary is today my daughter had like a little bit of a red eye ish, and she was like, her eye hurts, and I was like looking at it, and I was like, okay, well, just stop rubbing it. I'm thinking, because she has really long eyelashes, so I'm thinking like it's an eyelash, and then she kept rubbing it and it got irritated, so I'm just like, stop rubbing it. And I gave her like a wet cloth to kind of hold on to it, wipe it off or whatever. And then she was looking at her iPad, and then she just like starts bawling. It's like, my eye hurts. And like by this point she's crying, so like both eyes are like red, bloodshot. So I'm just like, look, I don't know what's going on like with your eye, and I'm thinking about you, like, oh God, please, like, is something going on? Like, I don't really feel like going to urgent care tonight, but I gave her the washcloth again, and it's starting to calm down. It still has like a little tint of pinkish, but I don't know. So we'll see in the morning what it's looking like.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if her eye looks like she got crusties, like if she gotta peel her eye open, you'll know.
Then it's, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's.
People got work to go to.
Not her eye say.
I know, right?
No, you don't. Then
right. Then I'm like, you gonna sit your ass down.
How was your weekend?
It was actually really cool. I went to our friend's baby shower. We got a friend that is expecting a baby. So that's always fun to celebrate our folks. What else did I do this weekend? Oh, then after the baby shower, of course, like we came back here and drank Alones until like, I don't know, it felt like midnight, 1 in the morning. I don't know. Until everybody got washed and was ready to go.
Oh, who all came
Um,
over?
are we saying names or
Oh, I guess not. Okay.
you guys who are listening, you know who were there. But
The regular,
it
the
was
regs
the regs minus
was so Titty was
you.
there.
Yes.
Titty was
Light skin
there, of course. That
was
motherfucker's always
there.
there.
I think that's and my coworker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they were there. The only person missing was you. We
What's your
missed you.
coworker turning up?
Girl, yes.
You know what? She full of shit.
No, it took her a while to ease in. That's what it is. You know, she tried to act like
Pause.
she. I hope you listen. Oh, that was a pause. If you're listening, it took you a while to. I was gonna say another, but I'm gonna say it took you a while to open up. It took you a while to be comfortable to show your true colors, but now she in this bitch.
Well, let's hope next time I see her that we are not on that bullshit. Because I swear she acts like we're still McLean, and we're not.
Like, man, pass the bottle. But yeah, this weekend that was it. Sunday's the same normal stuff. We had some good news though, but I guess we can share for our good, bad, and ugly at the end.
Okay.
But that's all I did this weekend. I swear it's like pretty much predictable. It's like Sundays are always going to be cookie cutter the same thing, and like kind of Saturday's a toss up. But yeah,
Your life is lit. My life is washed. That's cool.
no, it's nothing lit. It was a baby shower, babe.
Yeah,
I didn't say I went to the
but
club.
every weekend you've been out and about.
I guess.
I'm just saying.
I mean, I would prefer bed and Netflix,
That's
which I
what I
did one
did.
weekend. That sounds lit.
I
That's the
mean,
kind of washed up shit that I look forward to.
I actually felt really bad because Saturday I was just like, well, we just gonna chill, y'all, but we'll go out tomorrow because I was like, by then my eye will be cool. But
Hmm.
then I ended up with the stomach virus, so it was just like, oh, so we just having a
It's
Netflix
just,
weekend.
it was just meant for you to stay your ass in the house.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, so we are now listeners on episode 14.
1-4.
One fizzle, fizzle, fizzle. But anyway, this week we're going to be talking about switching it up at work.
Code switching.
Switching it up because we all know that we can become different people at work than we are at home. So we just want to talk about why we think that is. Like, why are we one way when we're not in the workplace and another way while we're there?
Hold 1 second.
Okay.
I'm just gonna pour up listeners.
Yes. And I'll just take a sip. If you're new, this isn't new. It happens every week. We get ourselves together by partaking over beverages, and it's amazing.
JT said last week, he was like, I feel like the cup was like right by the mic.
It could be. The mic is by my mouth, and the cup is there, so that's probable. It's a very good thing. Very good observation.
I stay. Okay. So code switching.
Yes. What you call it? Code switching?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, is that like a little fancy little lingo thing you came up with, or is that what it's really called?
That's really what it's called.
Oh, look, I was like, yes, this is lit. So code as in CODE, code switching?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
I've never heard
Really?
you always teaching me something.
I thought
Yeah,
you would have, because you be on your Googles.
Oh, I didn't catch that on my search.
Oh, okay.
Google didn't catch that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so code searching,
Switching.
code switching. I say searching.
Too much
sips. too much sips early in the podcast. So basically, in the workplace, just to kind of kick it off, we can see that people that might be considered as more quiet, reserved introverts, a lot of times they will have to step or act into more of a extrovert type role for the sake of their careers, and vice versa, depending on what you do for a living. I saw this article that basically it talks about the 5 general personalities that you have to deal with while you're at work, and like you can kind of see where you fall in on this. They say that
You
most people
stay with a
fall.
list, girl.
Stay with a list, honey. Call me listy. But they say most people fall in the middle of these extremes, but it's 5, so bear with me. The first one is extroversion, which basically reflects the degree to which people like to be the center of attention in social settings, where extroverts want the spotlight on them and introverts typically do not want the spotlight on them, but they might have a lot of friends and just prefer, engaging in more smaller interactions or smaller groups. The second personality that you would deal with is agreeableness. And this reflects how much people want others to like them. So they will be the ones that tend to have a difficulty with delivering bad news or giving criticism or even standing up for themselves to others because they want everybody to like them. I'm like, fuck that. Then let me see if I can pronounce this. Conscientiousness. Got it. Yes. I thought I was going to have a problem with that. So basically, these people are driven to complete tasks and follow the rules. These are people that normally get on our damn nerves if they're on the higher end of the spectrum, that always get noticed because they're completing all of their damn tasks pretty much before the deadline, and they do it by the book. So then people that's not budging, they're not trying to bend the rules or find creative ways to do different things. They're just like, no, this is what the book says and this is what I'm going with. So that's that. And the fourth is openness to experience. So that's kind of self-explanatory. It reflects people's willingness to consider new ideas. We have them people, especially when me and you work, that been there for years. They stuck in their ways and they not trying to do it no different kind of way. They're like, this how it's always been done, and this how I'm gonna do it. So that's what that refers to. And then the final one is emotional stability, which reflects the amount of energy flowing through the motivational system. In other words, basically the emotional reactions that people give to success and failures. So if you got called out because you didn't do your job and you in the corner crying, or you kirking because you're like, they gunning after me, they wilding. Basically, you are unstable when it comes to the emotional side, because that can cause difficulties within the workplace when people get angry or upset with each other because you can't control your emotions. But those are kind of like the 5 basic personality groups of all the people. And it's funny because when I read this article, I literally was going down a mental Rolodex of people that work with me and that's on my team. I was like, yep, that's them. That's that person. Ooh, yes, that person is like this.
So wait, are we talking about just different personalities at work, or switching it up at work? Because the articles,
no, I'm talking about switching it up. But this was talking about basically different personalities and yeah, yes. But it's not separate personalities. All of these will fall into one person. So like for me, like if I go down 5, like where I would land on the scale for my extroversion or my agreeableness or my, like, basically it will, what the different personalities to make up that person, if that makes sense.
So where do you fall on that list?
For the extroversion, I'm all the way at the top. I cannot even lie. And everybody on my team knows, like, you can hear me probably before you can see me at work. And maybe that comes with how long I've been in my job, because coming in January, I'll be there 11 years. So I'm super extremely comfortable because I have pretty much been in my job longer than some of my leadership has been there. So it's like, I've been around, I've seen a lot of things. So I feel comfortable within my job. So, and in real life, I'm just kind of outspoken. Like, there are times when you might see me not talking a lot, but that's just because I'm peeping the scene and I'm just collecting data. But yeah, like I'm usually that was a different scenario. We won't go through that road again. Okay. That was a different listeners. Me and Shay met actually at work. I'm not gonna give the whole story, but we met at work. And well, you know what? F it. I'm gonna give y'all the real story, the whole story.
Because listeners, them the fake story.
I'm gonna give them the story, and you can give the little ad libs that you feel will make you feel better. We are on episode 14, so I know a lot of our listeners are invested, and you are our loves, so I'm going to let you in on what was popping. We met at our job. We worked at a job together that we no longer work at together. But at the time, I was with child. Okay. So I was very far along with child. No, when you first got there, I was probably in the middle of my pregnancy. I wasn't all the way at the end. That's
no,
when all
you
the
were
fuck
near
shit
the
happened.
end. I got there in February.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I was due in April. So yeah, definitely towards the end. And to put it cutely, there were people in the leadership team, and I don't want to say people, it was a person that was trying to get me fired and all type of stuff. So I wasn't trusting anybody except two people on my team because we had worked together for a really long time, and we just built a relationship that we trust each other. Still my booze today. She was new, and even though one of my best friends actually worked there, and co-signer was like, yo, she's mad cool. I know if y'all was to get to know each other, like, y'all would be cool. I was just like, I don't know, this is kind of sticky time in my situation, like at my job. Like, I need my job. I'm with child. I can't afford to get fired and then have to pay for the birth on my own. So you know what? I'm gonna play it safe, and I'm gonna shut my damn mouth in front of the new girl. And yes, I called Shay the new girl because she was the new girl, damn it. So long story short, she was not fucking with us because we was not opening up around her. It was other people on the team that were a lot more rude, but we won't go down that road. But for me personally,
they was all rude.
I wasn't rude. I just wasn't going to tell my business around her.
And they would be like, oh, I'm going to tell you later. Like, girl, nobody's thinking about you. The fuck?
If I was talking shit about people at my job, you damn right I wasn't going to talk it around a new person. New person would have went to the manager and been like, whole time, this bitch over here saying whoop-de-whoop. So anyway, that's how we met. And that is how she has concocted in her mind that I'm this mean person because we were mean girls. And that is not the case. I was just going through a situation at that time where I had to protect my job, and glory, won't he do it? It all worked out. But anyway, I had to let you guys know the backstory. Are there any fake ad libs that you would like to add to that story to make our listeners not know the real deal?
I mean, that was just a nice version of what happened. But ultimately, all of y'all asses were rude. And when I called y'all out on being rude to our friend who had the baby shower, you said that when you were told that when I was like, y'all fake as shit or something like that. That do sound like some shit I would say too.
At work, people. This was at work. So like, imagine you at work and a new girl say in a team meeting, y'all rude as shit.
I mean,
oh, okay.
I mean,
because for the most part, taking it even back, like my first real job after college. My first job, period, I was like at Best Buy, something working at customer service. But my first like real job is where I met my two current best friends. And it's funny because my best friend, let's call her T. She actually had a nickname for me. She would call me corporate dice because literally I'm not the same person at work. Like, I'm not going front. Like, let me preface this. I'm the same person depending on who I'm around. But I will give you a real quick corporate voice in a minute. If I'm talking, I'm in a meeting, I'm conducting some type of briefing, or I'm on a conference call, training, honey, I will give you the corporate dice voice super quick. And she used to call me out all the time and was like, oh, we being corporate today. I was like, oh yeah, I had to get this going. But as soon as I clock out, I'm like, motherfucker, we about to go to park and hit the motherfucking happy hour, blah, blah. Totally different
but
people.
I didn't get corporate dice. I got Regina George.
You got pregnant dice. That's what you got. You got third. Okay. You got the third trimester dice who was about to lose her job.
Blame the baby. Okay.
Blame the baby and blame the manager who was trying to fire me while I was pregnant. That is stress on a pregnant woman, and I cannot be held accountable for my feelings and my emotions with child. The end.
Can I say what I want to say without saying names? So we're just gonna
muchas gracias. Muchas gracias.
But just know that's Regina.
Okay, anyway. We're going to scratch that, listeners. I'll edit that out.
No.
So do you feel like 100%, like at, I guess you can't say all your jobs, majority of your jobs, are you the same person, or do you have a representative that shows up when you go into work?
I 1000% have a representative when I show to work. Are you fucking kidding me? I tell people all the time, like when I feel myself getting to like a point where that professionalism is about to like go away, I'm always just like, all right, y'all really don't want to see Shay, but okay, let me go in my little cube, cause
Right. Let me keep it cute because I need my job and my
yeah.
coins.
So my very first job, actually while I was still in college, was opening mail for Anthrax. I was a guinea pig.
You are a brave joint, because ain't no way.
I was like 18 years old, making $17 an hour. So in my mind, I
So
was
you was
lit.
like, that's fine. Just give me a mask, honey, and show me where to go.
Right. And my dad was paying for everything except for like my phone bill or something like that.
Oh,
So
so you was getting all that money.
yes, lit. um so where was I going? Oh, so at that job, everybody, and at the next job, everybody called me Shay. But I realized that it's something about Shay. Like Shay is ratchet and unprofessional and no fucks given, and you cannot be that way in a professional setting. I'm
Right.
honestly surprised that I did not get fired from those jobs, because when I tell you that I would cuss out anybody,
Oh
from
my
like
gosh.
I would cuss you out, the end, like that's it.
Well, you must have really grew up by the time we started working together, because you would throw them headphones in a minute and be like, you know what? Nope. I can't.
Yeah.
I shan't say what's on my mind right now.
So the job that I had before I started working where you work, I stopped going by my nickname. I started going by my full name or whatever. And it honestly, it's just like it's a mental check for me. Because growing up, my father would only call me really by my first name if I was in trouble. So like, I don't know, it's just a mental thing for me. Like when I'm at work,
And when you're being called by your full government, you're like, ooh,
you're
let
able
me
to keep
chill.
things in check.
Right.
But I just tell people all the time, like, Shay, it's not what y'all want in your life.
Right. So you better keep it cute with my
Keep it
government name.
cute so I can keep it cute and we can be
I
cute
realized
together.
that since I've met you, I've never called you Shay. I always
know.
call you by your government name.
I
I think
know.
I have a problem with that. Like, most people that I know, I don't think I call them by their nickname. I always call them by their government. I don't know why. It's
Well,
weird.
I mean,
I
we
don't know.
met with we didn't even, like, I didn't introduce myself to you as that. So it
That's
makes
true.
sense.
But even throughout the years, like my best friend, he calls you Shay, like, yo.
But I
And I'm
introduced
just like,
myself to him as Shay.
oh, that's true. Like, even in text, like, I literally type out your whole damn name. Like, we just obnoxious as hell. I know you like, ma'am. But
the,
yeah, what?
the crazy thing is, I remember when I was working where you work, whatever, one of my no longer friends, when she would call, I wouldn't always be looking at the phone, so I would answer in my voice, and she'd be like, "Bitch, it's me. Turn that shit off."
For sure, that is T. Like after she left, the mutual job that we had when we first met, she left before I left and got a new job. And the times that she would call me, I definitely like, this is doo 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 boop. How can I help you? She like, all right, it's just me. All right, oh bitch, what's good? I thought it was somebody that I had to sound important with. But yeah, I will give you the real quick corporate voice, super, super easy. And people who know me be in the meeting looking at me like, look at this joint, all in her element, pretending.
I mean, we
pretending to
all
be in
do.
charge. For sure. But the funny thing is, like, being as though I've been where I'm at now for so long, like 80% of the people know the real me at this point. Like literally, most of my team follows me on Instagram, which I have levels to my social media depending on how good you know me
So
in my
you
life.
just code switching throughout your whole life?
Yeah. Call me fake, motherfucker, I guess. I don't know what you want to call it. Fake code switching. keeping my inner circle close. I don't know what you want to call it, but I got levels to everything. Like, as soon as you get through another layer of the onion, I'm like, oh, okay, well, you've been approved to come into this layer of
Not
my
you've been
life.
approved.
I gotta check you out first. I done dealt with a lot of fake bitches in my life, and I gotta protect my sanity. How about that? But yeah, like, there's different levels to my social media. Facebook is the real anybody. Who you want to follow? You want to follow anybody? Oh, it's not followers. We can be friends on Facebook because I'm not even on that bitch that much anyway. That's like family, in-laws, people that basically I just need to be connected to you so that I can get in contact with you, whether it's like high school, college people, we doing a group, I can get in contact with you, that sort of thing. Instagram, a little bit deeper, like, oh, okay, well, you let me in, like, because I post more on my private Instagram, so I actually have a good amount of coworkers that follow me, but that's because we've probably been working together for a long amount of time or went to some happy hours together. So you already know the real me. It's no need to hide anymore. And then there's Snapchat, where look, anything goes, because I could be all the way drunk and just post. I don't know, because I'm like, it deletes in 24 hours, so you gonna get what you get on Snapchat. I have levels.
So I have levels to my social media, but anybody that knows me personally knows what it is. Like, I don't feel like I have a bunch of different layers to this code switching thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's work Shay, and then there's everything the fuck else Shay. Like, I even feel like as a mom, like, I probably should have tightened up better, because my daughter be looking at me the way my friends do, like, this bitch. Because I'm just always, I don't, it's something about being at work that literally drains my life. Like, I feel like
Because
I
you're
have
not
to
being
fake
you.
so
Right.
much at work that when I'm not there, I'm
Mm-hmm.
just like ready to be myself. So on for like social media, like Facebook, I feel like I'm still myself. I'm just a little bit more mindful of how I communicate my
Yeah,
thoughts, because
I don't think I'm too fake on Facebook, but like you said, I think I'm more mindful of what I post. I post stuff about the kids and like more PG dice, not like
no, I
I was
still
drunk
post
this
about
weekend
everything
picture
I want. I just will say it differently. Like, instead
differently.
of saying like,
Mm.
I can't wait for my husband to come and,
Okay.
yeah, I'll be like, I'll say something else, but like, if you know me,
Yeah.
you'll get it. And
You'll
that's
rephrase it.
right. And that's because like my dad is on there. And then on Instagram, I have a lot of people that I don't actually know personally, but like during the time period when Twitter first got popping, like, I
Um,
carried those friends over
I
to
actually have a
Instagram.
gang of my Twitter friends that we became. I don't want to say friends, but like we became super cool. Like, total strangers, probably live on the other side of the damn country,
Right.
but like we probably talked about everything in life on our Twitter days. So when, like you said, when Instagram became popping, they came on over, and like
Right.
we've seen each other like grow up. Like, we are homies, and like never met these people in real life. But if you
Right.
listen, hey girl, hey, but yeah,
So
the same thing.
that's how, so my Instagram is definitely, even though this year I don't really be posting that much, but
Do you have a public personal profile
no,
for Instagram?
no.
Yeah, mine's is. People said that when you have a private Instagram, like, I guess like it's a bad thing, like you supposed to be like, I don't know, like bougie, like, oh, like you too good to share your pictures with the world. But like, yeah, like
I am.
it's creeps out here. I have some people that I know that I'm cool with that have public pages and post pictures of their children, and like have literally been told that someone stole pictures of their
Someone
child
stole my
and
account.
get your whole account. Oh no,
Yeah.
see, I
Back
don't
in
have time for that.
2012, someone created a whole account using my pictures, but then on top of that was tagging my friends in the pictures, and that's how I
Oh
found out.
no,
And so
that's
they
big.
had my daughter on there, and I spazzed like,
And this is when your page was public.
right. And that's ever since
Nah.
then I have kept it. Not only that, but the field that we're in, that's
Yeah.
dead. I'm never going to
Yeah.
have a public anything because
At
of
all.
because we work where we work, and
I ain't
everybody
got
knows
time.
the tricks to find your shit, and you can try to
Exactly.
change
So
your name and they'll still find you. So you can
I
find me
keep
and
it
see my
locked.
profile picture. That's all you're gonna
Right.
see.
You will see my picture and my bio.
My
Okay.
Snapchat though, honey, because my
Look,
Snapchat is only people that I know and only people I approve, and my
for
Snapchat is
sure.
reckless.
Yeah, so is mine. Like the times that we go out and I drink too much and I just be like, Lord
When you
Jesus.
look at it the next day,
I'll be like, ooh, 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 ooh.
crazy.
I think only one person on my Snapchat that I'm just like, oh, I wish she didn't follow me. But she had my telephone number and we're cool. But it's like a yeah, anyway. I
You
was just
could
like, oh, I
block
hope she
them
don't see
and
me.
then act like, oh, I deleted it.
But I don't even think she really be on there because you know how you can see who looks at your snaps. Like literally, it's been forever since she's even looked at a snap. So I don't really think she be on a joint like that, which is good. So if I do block her, she won't know the difference.
And not only that, but everybody is using Instagram stories and Facebook stories, which
So
actually
people
works
don't really be on Snapchat a whole much.
exactly. So that's
But them
when you
filters be
know,
life for me.
right?
The filters and then my kids, like my daughter is like be pressed. Like, let me see all of them. I gotta scroll through every damn freaking filter for her so she can take pictures. But anyway, we digress.
So code switch
Right. We went all left.
all the way.
34, 30 some minutes in.
So I had a question about it because I have an opinion, but I wanted to hear your
Mm-hmm.
thoughts on it. So on
Okay.
this one article on girlboss.com, it starts
Mm-hmm.
off and it says, the language with our friends and family is often different than what we use at work. For women, people of color, and those simply with a background not typically represented at their workplace, code switching becomes a means towards an end. That is, alternating the language used at work is sometimes seen as a necessary practice for fitting in and possibly advancing professionally. So, my question is if you feel like code switching is something that everyone does, or if it's just something that minority groups feel that they have to do in the professional workplace.
I would say that it's both depending on what type of job you have and where you work. I know for me, you're not gonna hear me saying nigga. It's just and it flows so effortlessly in my personal life, but at work, yeah, it's not gonna happen unless I'm in a private room talking to the couple of people that I know outside work and like we are really tight like that. And I'm like, this nigga, did you hear him at the meeting? But like certain things like I do curse at work around certain people just because my team is reckless and like 75% of us curse, but like never in a meeting or anything crazy like that. And most of the African Americans that I know that work either in my field or at work, I can say that they do the switching up of whether it's like let me tone it down or let me not talk too loud or be too like bitch let me say like so yes it has been calmed down. And the reason why I say depending on where you work, because I have also in my time seen non-African Americans that have come
Right.
in that maybe because I've been there so long that there's been so many transition and switches in my team on what it looks like, where it's like predominantly black to I'm the only black to like it's switched a lot back and forth through my time there. But it was a time where like literally 90% of my team was African American, and that's including, you know, the management. And you know the non-black people would come in feeling like okay like I gotta I don't know do you know that stereotypical stuff that you see on a sitcom where it's like oh let me I'm around the black people I'm so like hey what's going on, like they trying to switch up, like they trying to sound I guess what they think is quote unquote cool, or I don't want to say
Which
black
I want
talk.
y'all to fucking stop, by the way, but go ahead.
Yeah, oh my goodness, just talk regular like yeah anyway. But it definitely was that it's like you're trying to be like this hip, like I think this is how black people talk, so like if we're in a group like hey what's going on, like what's up, I'm just like dog you was just over there talking to freaking Beth and that's not how you was talking to Beth, so don't come to Keisha and Marquise up here talking like talk to us like you talk to Beth, like we understand that you don't have to talk hip talk to us. So I think for sure it goes both ways. It isn't just a thing that African Americans do. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, so the article that I'm reading is kind of written as though it's like just a woman problem or like a black problem. But honestly, like I have seen a few of my non-black coworkers outside of work, and them motherfuckers are kind of wild. So, I think that they're idiots at work, but they're at least like idiots that keep it together. And I don't give a fuck.
No, you
If they
don't.
were to ever hear this, I said what I said. But,
I said what I said.
you know, um, they're definitely, I don't think it's a racial thing. As far as, I think everybody has to switch at work. Like, I think that you have to be professional if you're in
Hmm.
a professional setting.
Right. It's
Um,
just degrees on with some people how much they change, I guess.
I do think that there are types of code switching though that are racial. I don't like I don't think code switching is specific to one group, but I do feel like some code switching scenarios are
Mm-hmm.
racial. For instance, uh, I've seen multiple reports of non black, non white people basically getting
Mm-hmm.
upset. I'm trying to be politically correct, and I don't know why. So I've
Right.
seen multiple videos and reports of white people getting like hella upset when two people are speaking in their native tongue to their presence. Like, I don't understand that shit. Like, why are you mad that they're having a conversation in
And then
their
they,
native language? You
bitch,
know what I'm
learn a
saying?
different language and then be in this bitch. Like, well, how the fuck you mad at somebody speaking in?
I mean, honestly, if you think about like most Americans only know one language, while most other countries, the people there know like several. So
Right.
it's always just like hella ignorant.
For
But the
sure.
article I was reading talks about how like that's code switching for them because a lot of people are, their parents are first generation like immigrants here, so
Mm-hmm.
they grew up in a household where, like, for Spanish speaking people, for instance, in their home they spoke Spanish, but then they go to school and they, obviously are speaking English, and
Right.
so they have to adjust, excuse me, depending on what kind of environment they're in.
Right.
So
That makes sense.
I feel like, um, even with like different dialects or whatever, like there is, not to put you out there, boo, but there's someone at my
Mm-hmm.
job who has a southern accent or whatever, and I have
Mm-hmm.
heard people like make comments about it, but they seem fun in nature. On the other hand, though, you have someone like Cardi B, who is
Mm-hmm.
not in a professional setting, so really the way that she talks shouldn't be like a big thing,
Scrutinize. Right.
but it has been like people talk about how she doesn't really speak that well. But I'm like, for one, she's
That's
one
not
of
her
those
first
people,
language.
right? She grew up in a household where they spoke Spanish, but then she was living in the Bronx where it's hood as fuck. So it's like,
Then you
y'all,
got that
you
accent
got what
on
you got,
top of that.
right?
Right.
So it's
But she's come a long way since the Love and Hip Hop days because it was times where they had the subtitles, honey. And I was like, oh, okay. But now I can actually understand her a lot better. So she might have had some speech classes or some speech coaching or something.
But what I'm saying is like she can't help. That's the environment that she grew up in. Just
Grew up
like
in.
my coworker grew up in the environment that she was in. But if they were both at my job, like I say, they talk about my boo's uh, dialect, but I think it's in
Hmm.
fun. But I feel like if a Cardi B came, she wouldn't even get the job because they'd be like, "Girl, get that Bronx shit the fuck out of here."
Right.
So
We can't even understand what you're saying, man.
right. So I mean, it's like I said, I feel like you have to switch it up, but at the same time, it's just like you you know crazy. Remember, I don't want to say nobody's name, but she used to
Hmm.
work where we work, and then she moved to Chicago.
Hmm. Yep.
So whole time I met her, we had a college class together.
What?
Yes, it's the
You
crazy.
never told me that.
Yeah, well, it took us a while to realize it. Like, I kept saying, like, she looked familiar, she looked familiar, she looked familiar. So one day I just asked her, like, did you have this class? We were actually in a speech class together. And I remember her specifically because she had a very New York accent.
Mm-hmm.
And it used to be like real heavy. And so I remember being in that class and the teacher, like, being like, no, you're not supposed to say the word like that. You're supposed to say it this way and da 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 da. But yeah,
Mm.
we had a class together.
Oh wow, it's crazy because knowing her inside of work, and then like later on, like towards the end, right before she left, when I got cooler with her, and then when she left and I started following her on social media, I was like, you was close,
Yeah, like shit.
honey. Yeah, I was like, girl, like we could have been hanging out and I had not a clue. But yeah,
So,
for sure.
and I don't think people, and I think, like, for me, I'm introverted. Like, I'm very,
You
very,
think so?
no, I know so. Like, I'm hella introverted. I'm just the type, I'm introverted.
That likes to be around smaller
I
groups.
like to be around my folks. Like,
I would say because you're social when we're like it's our group, so but you just don't like
I
big crowds or like
no big crowds
no new
and no
friend.
new friends. Like, fuck out
Got
of
it.
here with all that. Like, and so it's crazy because one of the people at my current job that I unfortunately was hanging out with after work, like, I did not want to hang out with this person,
Oh my
but
gosh.
um he was saying, like, I come off like a bitch, and I was just like, oh, that's cool. Like, I I'm not I'm sure that I come off like as a bitch to people. I'm not, I don't feel like I am. I just feel like I stay in my lane and I mind my business and I come in, I do my hours and I go home. And for me, that's what I have to do. It, like I was saying earlier, like, I get exhausted dealing with fucking people and being feeling fake all day. Because what I really want to say is,
Right.
like, you're a fucking idiot. Why the fuck are we doing this? Why the fuck can't you do your job? Like, and the best thing for me to do is to be by myself. Like what you were saying, how I used to put my headphones on and be my own world. Like,
Right.
bitch, that's the
I
same.
think they just think that you come off that way, like seeing both sides of the coin because I know you really well, and then have been in that situation where I worked with you in the beginning and not knowing you. Like I think it's just when like people don't you don't play the game, quote unquote, like you do it enough where like you're not gonna come off like, oh damn, she in this joint bullshit, but you don't play the political game at
I
work. You're
really
just like,
don't.
I'm not about to sit up here and he ha ha and chit chat with y'all. Like I don't fucking know y'all, I don't like y'all, and like no, I'm about to do my 8 hours and get the fuck.
Yes.
And to people that don't ever get the chance to know you personally, they're just like, well damn, this because I've told you that people was like, oh, she don't be talking like she just as soon as she come in the office, like she put on her earphones, like she might take it off and like, huh, what you say, blah blah, but that's about it. And like for those people who play that game as like kiki and ha ha, like I play a whole nother game, and I'm sure many people call me a bitch because I'm the blunt one. Like on my team, everybody knows Dice is the one that will say what other people are scared to say, and maybe that's my comfortable level because of how like relationships that I have fostered over the years of me being there, and I've been there longer than most, probably like majority of the people. It's probably like 2 or 3 people that's been there longer than me on my direct team. But like even those people, they're not the pot stirrers, but in my whole, I've never been scared to stir pots. Like,
Right.
let's stir it up and see what these flavors is tasting like, honey. You'll never know unless you try. And I think I'm that one, especially like I'm looked at kind of like as a spokesperson sometimes. So like we could be having whole sidebars, like people betting they not fucking with, like, I don't know why they doing X, Y, and Z. I'll be the one to be like, look, I got a cute way to address it. I'm going to bring it up. I'm also the one, if people are telling me tea and they like, we trying to get some more information, I'm also the undercover agent that's going to, yeah, because I'm social. So I guess people feel comfortable talking to me and opening it up even when I don't even want them to. So yeah, sometimes people will get to talking. They're like, Dice, let me tell you about this. I'm just like, for real, today, I'm actually trying to do work today. So I really don't feel like talking, but go ahead. It looks like you're in a talking mood. But yeah, I'm definitely the more outspoken. I don't mind being the I just think like in my life I'm just an extrovert, like in all aspects, even in my code switching. Like when I put on the whole corporate voice, I'm still kind of playing the social game per se, but I'm not giving you 100% of, I don't want to say being fake, but like I kind of refrain from giving you everything of me, and a lot of stuff I'm going to keep in my head until I go to the group chat and be like, bitch. And I'm petty because I'll sit up there and text you in the middle of a meeting, like some of my friends that we're in this meeting. I'm like, look at this bitch face. Like, she gets on my nerves the way she even breathes. But be sitting there looking corporate as hell. But yeah, yeah.
Do y'all have like personality type trainings or conferences that
We did. Ooh, I wish you would have told me because I definitely would have pulled up my notes. We did that as a team when I was switching management, actually, because me and my current manager kind of were butting heads, which is crazy because earlier in our working relationship, we weren't even on the same team, but we got along super well. But then she became my manager, and I think her management style and my working style just didn't mesh well. So we had like kind of like some situations. So as a team, we did like a little team building thing, and we did like a personality thing where we kind of saw it was like little letters and codes and what they meant after you took the questionnaire, but I forgot what I was. But yeah, we
we
definitely did that.
when I was in California, we did one. I think it's called Myers
Myers
Briggs or
Briggs.
Myers
Yeah.
Briggs. And
Mm-hmm.
so with that one, I can't remember exactly what my letters are, but I think it's like INTJ or
Mm-hmm.
INTP. It's something like that. But the I is for introvert. And like I wasn't surprised at all. Everybody there though was really surprised because there I was the only Black person on that team, and
Mm.
so I felt like the code switch, like here, there's a mix. So I
Uh-huh.
can kind of like fade away and I can let someone else shuck and jive. But in California, I felt like I had to make those people feel hella comfortable because I was the only Black person on the team.
Mm.
Obviously, I was the first Black person that had dreads for Miss Leslie because she was ignorant as fuck. Um,
She had to touch them trunks to see, like, are
yes.
these real?
Yeah, so everybody was just like so surprised that I was like an INTJ or whatever. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, I really don't like none of y'all. I just have to be this way. So here at my current job, they have a different type of personality thing called four lenses, where
Hmm.
basically you're like a color. And so
Oh.
I'm actually a 50-50 split between these two colors. One being like gold, which is like a hard worker. They're very productive. They're blah, 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 blah. But then my
Mm-hmm.
blue is more like they're family orientated. They're like their home. They're big on like relationships and love and all the other stuff. So when I got the 50-50 split here, somebody was like, "You a blue?" And I was like, I was like,
Judge him?
yeah, but not here. It's 50-50. I'm a gold at work. I work harder than y'all. And then at home, like I
Mm.
love my family, my friends. So yeah. Like at work, y'all just get gold. There's no blue in my heart for y'all. But
Right, you're not going to see that. You're definitely not.
yeah.
That's interesting. I want to do that one.
Oh,
You should send that info to me.
I have a little booklet, an extra one. So I see you, I'll like bring it to you. And then I think somebody has like a link where you do the assessment. So I'll find a little link and send it to you.
What shizzle?
But everybody that I have ever become friends with, or not even just friends, but hung out with outside of work, where I
Mm-hmm.
have been my total self. I'm not saying that we went on to become like lifelong friends, but everybody has been like, "Oh, you're actually really cool." Like I would have
Me and
never
you.
known. And I'm always
Me
just
and you.
like, "Oh, thanks."
Because you didn't think I was nice. I'm sure you was like, get this bitch. Like,
Listen, your
I'm sure you
best
were pleasantly
friend
surprised.
your best friend kept trying to make this happen, and I
He
was
knew. He knew. He was like, look, y'all are going to be friends. And neither one of us was seeing his vision.
at all. And but then OCOs happened, and
Here we are.
here we are. I remember, so you talking about code switching. So I remember that night so vividly because I was just like, I work with this bitch, so I'm gonna keep it cute. I'm gonna be like, hey, but I ain't gonna be like twerking down or nothing like that because I gotta go to work for her the next day. Well, you and B Dub came in there and y'all turned up. So afterwards, I just felt like, oh, we home. We in this bitch.
You wanted me. And I never knew.
Right. That shit
That
was
was funny.
hilarious. Like,
I wasn't turned up. That was B Dub.
No, you don't remember. You were really drunk.
Listeners, look. See the ones that sell your friends sell you out, throw you under the bus. God dang.
We'll just cut that piece out. Split audio.
So look, at the end of the day, I feel like it is perfectly normal to act different in different environments and situations. Like everybody does it. I think it just depends on the degree of, are you a whole totally different person that your friends, if they were to peeking at your job, that they wouldn't even recognize you? Or is it just slight differences where you're just like, all right, I'm not going to cuss people out, and maybe I'll just bite my tongue a little bit more and, to make it through these 8 hours. Not to get all psychological for you, but I am or was a psych major. It's actually called schemas that are different personality traits or mental structures that guide how we think and what we do. And everybody has multiple vast amount of different personality traits, and it may seem that some conflict with others, when in actuality some of those traits are just for different schemas or different or different what am I trying to say, situations and different environments. So just to break it down and make it scientific for y'all ass.
I want y'all to be professional at work. I just don't want to be like a totally different person. That's
right.
And I feel
right.
like, and I feel like every week I make things racial. However, I feel like, I do feel like for Black people, is deeper than just being professional and having to code switch. Similar to what you were saying about, like, if it was like an all Black team and there was one white person, that white person feels the need to, like, hey girl, what's up? Did you catch RHOA last night? Like, fuck out of here, Tom. Like,
that's when you make them feel stupid and be like, this. No, I don't even watch that show.
Right.
What happened?
Like, oh my goodness, like on Insecure, when there was this one scene when Issa walked in and they asked, what the fuck did they ask her? They asked her some ignorant
remember
Black shit, and she was like,
no, I don't know what you're talking about.
No, damn well,
no, whole time. I definitely remember that.
It's shit like that. Like, you do, not even just that, but like, it's a group of people that they talk about politics almost every morning.
How can I deal with that?
And you know the type of politics that they're talking about. Now, if I was having a conversation about my opinions, my political opinions in the hallway with a group of Black people, I think that there would,
y'all be called into HR
for sure. I 1000% feel that way. Like, I feel like there would be an email out to the whole code, and if it could, because I feel like there was an email that went out to the code, but then motherfuckers like you don't do
discuss certain things in the workplace, that sort of thing.
I feel like it would become an HR issue, because when I tell you, almost every morning, there they go, and I'm just like, what are we doing? Like,
let me tell you something. You will learn a lot about listening in and ear hustling on some of these political conversations with your coworkers. Because when I first started, like, when I say first started, I mean like the first couple of months when I was there. And was it first couple months? It had to be first couple months. Anyway, it was when Obama was running. And let me tell you something. People that I thought was a certain kind of way, honey, it was this older non-Black person at my job. And when I say he was, it gave me so much insight because of how comfortable he was to speak in front of 2 African Americans and one, I guess, I don't know what he was. Let's say Middle Eastern. Because I'm not sure exactly what his background was. But you are speaking that freely in front of us to another non-Black or person of color on how incompetent this Obama character would be to even try. Like, it was laughable that he was even running. Thank God he won. How you doing?
Twice.
Right, how you doing? And then fast forward to the daggone fiasco
That
of
y'all
our
call.
last quote unquote president, which I'm not going to turn this podcast into nothing political. I promise you, I'm not getting deep into it. I'm just saying,
I
when
will.
certain co-workers were speaking on who they voted for, why they voted for, and that's why I don't talk about any of this stuff at work. I just listen because it gives me a lot of insight on your views, your issues, and then I can know, I know where to put you. Because it was people that, yeah, some of their views and what they were supporting, mind blowing. But yeah, those conversations can give you a lot of insight, for real. I don't speak on it. I don't join in the conversation. I don't even say whether I agree or disagree, but I just listen.
Well, legally, like in the federal government, you're not supposed to have those conversations, which is
I
what
think
is
even,
super
yeah, I
annoying.
think they say that. I think certain stuff like political views, religion, and salary, you just can't talk about. But
Like,
it's certain
you're
stuff like
not
you're
even
not
supposed to have those conversations.
right at all. So the fact that you
So,
even doing it openly, it's just like I could be petty and go to HR and be like, yo, I
and that's
felt
what
very
I'm
uncomfortable.
saying. That's what I'm saying, because if I was to turn around, like some of this shit that I hear, I,
It's
I,
OD.
because I had my militant Black Panther shade moment, and I really be wanting to like fact check a lot of the shit that's said.
Right.
Um, and I swear, like, I'm just like, if I was to turn up though, that would be an issue, and not
They'll
because
be
I'm
looking at you
turning
like,
up,
oh my.
right, and not because I would be turning up like fuck you niggas, but just being like passionate because I know what the fuck I'm talking about, and like what they be
Mm-hmm.
saying is bullshit. But it's just like, it's okay for y'all to come in here and just talk freely while other people have to kind of silence themselves and monitor what they say and check their faces and all the other stuff. And that's kind of what
Because
that whole code
as
switching
soon as you
is.
correct them, they'll be feeling a certain kind of way and make it seem like you started the conversation when it was them all along.
Yeah. A lot of Black people have said that code switching is meant to make white people feel comfortable. And like, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I won't say that that's all code switching is. I do agree
Mm-hmm.
to a certain extent, but I feel like people code switch even outside of work. Like, you act differently around your parents than you do with your
Yeah,
friends.
I would say it's not necessarily just to make white people or
Right.
non-black people feel comfortable, but sometimes to make your own self feel comfortable. Because I know I don't talk the way I talk to my friends around my parents, and I'm a grown ass woman. Like,
Right.
it's just different situations and different environments requires different levels of handling and different degrees of dice. Because everybody can't handle all
Right.
of me. But yeah.
Well,
That's all I had. Did you want to skip on to some tea, or did you
I
have
don't
anything else on this topic?
I don't have anything else on this topic, nor do I have anything for the tea other than you motherfuckers that have been online for the past 2 years crying about Trump better have taken y'all Black asses out to vote.
For
That's all I
sure.
got.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Y'all, anybody. I hope.
Cause
I don't want to hear nothing. I want to be like, let me see a sticker. Oh, okay. And even though they could be fake, but
So I
I need
am
to see
going
it.
to talk about politics just for a hot second, because
Mm-hmm.
I did not vote in the last presidential election, and I feel no shame in saying it. I did not
Mm-hmm.
vote for Hillary. I did not vote for Donald Trump. I
Mm-hmm.
also did not think that there was a chance in hell that Donald Trump would ever fucking become the president of
The
the
fucking
United
president.
States. So
Right.
my bad. Um, my bad, y'all.
Like, you personally responsible, like one vote and we would have had them motherfuckers.
But you know what? I understand, like, a lot of my Black Panther brethren are on social media this week talking about how voting doesn't matter and voting this and voting that, and it's just like, well, what the fuck did not voting get you? Because nigga, not voting got me
Mm-hmm.
Trump. So
Ooh,
if that's what not voting is going to
okay.
get me, then a bitch will be
Let
in
me
the
take my
booth.
ass out here. Let me
You
tell you
know.
something. in the cold rain with 2 children.
And,
Like, okay, come on,
and
we
then
almost there.
not just that, but it's like, okay, we just got the rights to vote. Like, within like our,
Yesterday.
you know what I'm like, in all honesty. So it's like, maybe voting hasn't done a lot for us thus far, but we haven't even been able to vote for like 100 years.
We haven't consecutively come together as a people to vote that often. So, like, let's keep it 100% funky.
Right.
So, like, it's not like, except when Obama was running, they was like, oh, let's get this black
And
man
maybe
in because
this
he looked like he's
midterm
lit.
shit.
Right. Nobody was like, it would be like little small sales of black people and people of color that were like, all right, let's vote. But as a people, it hasn't been that since we've been given the right to vote, it hasn't been that many times where we have all come collectively to show what we can do. And that's why every time when all people of color and even those not in color get upset, you see all these campaigns of them being nervous about, oh shit, they really about to turn up some shit, because they know our votes matter. Like,
Right.
for real. Like, if everybody came out and did what they were supposed to do, that shit would matter. If everybody, you know what, I'm not about to get political, but yeah.
Well, it's not about, we don't have to get deep in, that was about to be a pause moment. We don't we don't have to like get into the whole political side of it, but it's just like, if you're thinking about just how many years we've actually been able to legally vote on paper, and then subtract some years because the KKK was still definitely lynching our asses when we even tried to exercise that
At the
vote.
polls.
We have
Right.
not been able to vote for that fucking long. You know, when
For
you're
you to be
talking
like, this
about
shit
the
ain't working.
history of America, exactly, for you to say that it's
Right.
not working. Then to add to your point, when we did finally get the chance to kind of be able to vote, because they're still lynching us today in 2018.
Look.
You know, we don't come out in the numbers that we should be coming out. But I tell you what, they knew our black asses were going to show up for this midterm election, which is why there's all this suppression bullshit and all these rules and stipulations, and the buses and the cabs not taking people. You know, they can't come on a church bus. They fucking know that we're showing up for this shit. Just like they know that in 2 years we're getting Trump the fuck out of there. And it's gonna be some bullshit now. So all I'm gonna say is, if you didn't vote in the midterm election,
I don't want to hear shit.
I don't want to hear shit. But you have 2 years to get your fucking voter registration shit together, because everybody better be in attendance to get his ass the fuck out of that goddamn office. Because I'm not dealing with this shit for 8 years.
It's nothing but fuck shit.
I'm not sitting at work listening to people with fucking Trump bobbleheads on their desk talk about shit that they actually, I swear to God, one of the branch heads has a fucking Trump bobblehead on his desk.
Sweet baby Jesus.
And they sit in the fucking hallway and they talk about shit that's not true. They fucking, somebody put some fucking information out to the fucking code that came from like one of them Trump websites that's not factual at all. Like, it was worse than Fox News. Like, it wasn't even from Fox News. It was from somewhere else. And I was like, oh, you know, I wanted to forward this article to my OPSEC group. Do you have a link? Because they want to get the source. Never got the link. Ended up Googling it and finding out where the shit came from. Where basically it said that black people were the number one home terrorists. What is it called? What is it called? Basically, they were trying to say that we the number one motherfuckers that's terrorizing America. You lie.
Right.
You a goddamn lie. Just 2 weeks ago, it was about 4 fucking incidents, and wasn't there one of them black people just shooting up synagogues and grocery store. Anywho,
look.
If you didn't vote, shut the fuck up. The end.
The end. I know that's right. Whew.
You got some tea, boo?
It ain't no real deep tea, pause. Just some shows. Like, I love fall TV, especially since we really be getting into, you know, the reality TV. Real Housewives of Atlanta started back.
God.
Also, Love and Hip Hop is about to wrap up. That was interesting. So on Love and Hip Hop, I mean, Real Housewives of Atlanta, a lot of stuff. The first episode, it was a lot going on.
Yeah.
Cynthia got her a boo.
A new one.
Another one.
Mm-hmm.
We're so shady.
Yeah.
Ronnie DeVoe's wife is going to be on this season, which she wasn't on the first episode, but she's going to be on there, and she seems like she's super spicy.
You know,
Here
she's the
for
girl
it.
from Black, right?
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's the lead singer from Black. The little 808 joint.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, yes, I didn't know that. Portia got her a man's. They got some monies. And I guess they about to get married.
And they pregnant and stuff.
A pregnant, she wasn't pregnant on the taping yet, but on social media, obviously, we see she all the way out there. Greg out here fighting colon cancer,
which was crazy.
Woo, yes, like that was crazy as hell. And Nene looking strong, just trying to put it together, but you could tell that's weighing on her or whatever.
Right.
So that was a lot just in one damn episode. I was like, wow, this is gonna be a wild season. And then Candy would escape and try to balance being a mom and that sort of thing.
Candy gets on my nerves.
Look, I used to love her, but like as the seasons rolled on, I'm just like, all right, like girl, yeah, I can only take her in doses. Pause.
Nah, facts. I can't do it. Like, I want Portia to come back. I'm not Portia, Phaedra.
Phaedra, yeah.
I want Phaedra to come back.
She kept it mixy.
I just loved her shade. Like her shade was top notch. Yes.
Nobody is shading like her. And then I don't even think Kenya is recording because I think during that time she was pregnant, I guess. I don't know.
What happened was because she was trying to keep her married life like totally away from the show, they demoted
she wasn't
her.
Recording. Oh, so she's just like a friend, like she like Marlo out here.
Yes. I don't know for sure if she's on the show, but I know I saw some pictures with her and Nene, so I assume she's on the show, but just like as a friend of the show. And that's because...
I didn't even see Sheree either. I don't think Sheree was on the show.
She got the boot.
Yeah.
They could have kept her on there. They know she need that goddamn check for that shot.
She gotta finish paying off that house. Mm-hmm. Like literally on the little intro, I think it was only like 4 or 5 of them with
It
Peach.
Was.
They literally was Nene, Portia. Yeah, she's a regular.
But how? What did she do last season to become a fucking regular?
Child, I guess she I don't know, but the previews for the rest of the season, I guess she gave an attitude. I guess she about to be in this thing.
I mean, she always had an attitude. If you remember her from
For sure, I did. I definitely watched that whole season. I was here for it, though. I really wanted her to win. I liked her,
but I just didn't see her as on Real Housewives. That's all. I just kind of was like, okay. Did you see?
She is kind of shady, though.
Did you see Married to Medicine now?
Yes,
I love that
I definitely
show.
did. I really do like that show. Like that damn Dr. Heavenly. She just need to give up the spiritual journey at this point.
She really should just sit in her shit. I would love her more if she just stopped.
Like, stop trying to change. Shit. Like, you going to see a whole life coach and it's not working, babe. Like,
but be trying to be just cuss people out every other episode.
So she said, "Fuck you, bitch, and your mom." Like, I could look. Then had daddy, Mr. Damon, out here about to square with Aiden. I don't look. It was good. It gave me a lot of life.
I need for her to not call him daddy while he calls her buddy.
That is weird. Like, but they call everybody buddy because remember when their son came back from, like, I guess visiting while he was away for college? They was like, "Hey, buddy, what's up? It's good to see." But like, that's kind of weird to call your spouse buddy and she's just like daddy.
That's what.
Just the pet names are kind of weird.
If everybody called each other buddy, that would be one thing. But if I'm calling JT daddy, I better be getting called like sexy or baby or boo or.
And he like buddy.
If he calls me buddy, I'm gonna be like, huh? What the fuck? What you mean? Like, no, that's...
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
Like, even your father, when you're like, your actual father, you say, "Hey, daddy," he's like, "Hey, baby girl." You know,
right. Some kind of term of endearment.
He's not like, "Hey, bud." The fuck?
Hey, buddy. Like, what's going on, fella?
I'm a whole woman. I was going to say I'm a whole female, but y'all don't like that.
Female. I don't care.
Yes, you don't. So I know you don't watch this show, and I haven't actually watched any of the new season, but I heard the last episode of The Walking Dead was lit, and that if you were a Walking Dead fan, like I was a true Walking Dead fan, figurines, comic books, I used to be all the way in it, but I don't know. Last season, I just stopped watching it because I was like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
you and B-Dub was so disappointed with last season. So
Well,
I
no,
need
he
to
was
ask him
still
if he actually,
watching. Like I
but he was still not, he was annoyed with it though. Like
oh
he was like angry, like, yo, this episode was weak as shit. So I need to actually ask him if he's, I didn't know it came back, but I need to ask him if
randomly
he watched
he
it.
would be like, "Hey, did you see such and such?" Like he would be like, Did I see Walking Dead episode?" I'd be like, "No, I don't watch that shit." He'd be like, "Yeah, you shouldn't watch it because you would be blown." And I used to be like, "Yo, why the fuck
So
are
why
you
you
still
still
watching it?"
watching it? Right.
Like some
He just
loyalty
hoping
shit.
that he gonna watch it and then it's gonna be a bomb episode, and all season was like, nah, I never got that.
I heard that this last episode was so lit and I need to watch it. I need to also catch up. Like, I feel like I've been so wrapped up in reality shows. I haven't watched any scripted shows. So I still have to catch up on Ozark. I still
I
need
don't
to
watch
catch.
that. I actually started watching the first season and it was pretty good, but I don't know if I forgot about it, but I never finished it. So yeah, I need to
I
get
got
back
to
into
catch
that
up
because it
on
was pretty
that.
decent.
I need to catch up on Blackish
Oh
because
yeah,
that's
Blackish
back
has been
on.
good.
I
Yeah,
heard
I'm caught up on that.
you never watched How to Get Away with Murder, but I did. But
I
I have.
watched the first season
Okay,
and
but it's
that's
like
it.
five seasons
Yeah, I stopped
now.
after that.
So I know that that's back on, but look, they kind of lost me last season too. So I'm kind of behind on that one too. Like I want to watch more scripted shows. So if anybody has some good scripted shows that's not Tyler Perry affiliated,
Mm,
I'm here for it. But I'm not watching that shit. And I don't want to watch any more reality TV because like Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, it's just literally sucked me dry the other day, pause, because it's so fucking fake.
yeah.
And like Lyrica is at her
She smashed. I don't believe
uh
Safari. He smashed, he smashed, he smashed. I don't care.
oh, that's not where I was going with that, but
Oh,
I too believe that she saw what that monster did.
right. What was you about to say?
No, when you did see the episode, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Spoilers. I mean, we've been spoiling shit though,
we've
so
been spoiling. So if you watch any of these shows, like, so sorry.
yeah. So somebody calls Moniece to show up to somebody else's event. Princess and Moniece get to fighting, and
That
Lyrica,
wasn't no real fight.
but
Okay.
but still, Lyrica is literally leaning on the table and eating food and watching it. And while she is pregnant, so I get that she wouldn't intervene. If I
Right.
paid my fucking hard-earned money for a ceremony with my husband, and two bitches came and tried to fuck it up, and then followed up and two niggas tried to fuck it up, because then after that, Booby and fucking Marcus are fighting at my fucking ceremony, I would
Ma'am,
be killing people. That's how I know it's
ma'am,
fake.
if you think that A1 and Lyrica paid for that, that was
I know.
Mona.
I
That is
no.
for a freaking script. So they ain't paid nothing. Had daggone Lyrica G up there sing.
Cackling
Look.
her ass off.
They did not pay for that ceremony, and that's why they didn't give no fucks. Normally, people be mad as hell, like, you're not gonna mess up my event. He
Right.
was more mad that it was cake on his damn Gucci shoes. He did not care, and neither did she. They was just like, we knew something was going because old boy called her Moniece right in front of Nikki.
Right.
So like, if they wanted to squash him, shit, nobody said like, why'd you do that? They just kind of gave it a look like, oh
Not
shit.
only that, but it's not like Moniece pulled up in her own car. She had drivers. So it's probably
Yes,
the producers of the
that Mona
show.
sent.
Right.
Right.
And I
And
mean,
was like, come on.
and it's entertaining. To me, at this point, I'm looking at reality TV like how when my grandparents used to watch stories like Young and the
Yeah.
Restless.
It's definitely like the back in the day real world. This is not
Real
real
World was
real
lit.
lit.
But
It's not that.
but it
It's
is kind of
predictable.
exhausting sometimes because it's just like y'all not even being good actors.
Right. This wouldn't happen in real life.
Like
Let me tell you something. It would not. If I've been waiting to be unpregnant to fight somebody on scene, I'm not going to sit there and just throw champagne on them on the other side of the table. That's what I'm not going to do. Like, she was, unless she's still healing from birth, which I don't think she is at that point of taping, I would have been over that table if supposedly she was that mad. I wouldn't be sitting there throwing cups of champagne.
and
I'm
not only
sorry.
that, but you never like they know each other. They know where each other be at in real
But
life.
that's why most of them be like, I'm real easy to find. I'll see you. Like with the whole Marcus and Booby thing, which is super weird to me. But like, yeah,
They
like
say that shit, but it's fake because I feel like if they really had the beef that they say that they had, then
it wouldn't have been caught on camera. They would
right,
already
we
fought.
would just hear like on the Shade Room on like Shameless, like, oh
Right.
yeah, Booby and Marcus, they got in a fight. Like, no.
Oh,
What?
speaking of tea,
What?
that wasn't put out on the actual show. You know, Apple Watts.
Mm-hmm.
Honey definitely has a sex tape out that I saw.
Oh, is it good?
I mean, I didn't watch the whole thing, but
I mean, but was it good? What you saw?
I mean, the person she was with, yeah, like
The reason the reason why I'm asking is because y'all be hyping up some sex tapes that do not be good. Like Kim
I didn't watch the
Kardashian.
whole thing, and it wasn't like, oh my gosh, let me steal some moves. I'm just saying, who she was with was well endowed, from what I saw. I was like, oh, and it was a
Yeah.
very clear one. So it's not like she didn't know she was being recorded. It was super clear, and she was right there. So I didn't watch the whole thing, but I was like, oh, okay, Apple, I see you,
Yum.
girl. I see you.
I'm just saying, I hope that is worth it, because I'm tired of seeing these bitches getting damn famous for doing nothing. My fat ass do
Right.
more than that. The hell?
These girls got bodies that in shape and lazy.
Yes. Like what? My fat ass be over here huffing and puffing, and y'all just be there and then be getting
Mm,
famous.
right.
Child. Okay.
Yeah. No real tea. Just shows that came on. Reality TV is about to gear up. I just like fall TV because then we're going to be getting into Love and Hip Hop, the original in New York,
Which I
and
think is gonna be good.
I'm here for some extra ass Joe Budden. I love Sin. They brought back Daggone Jules
Yep.
and what's his girl name?
The girl Kimbella. There we go.
Kimbella.
Yeah.
Yep. And I just need for Daggone Safari and Juju to just get together.
Yes. I don't know why
Just get
she
it
just
together.
won't.
Because the same reason why, like, she's just like, you in these streets and you not serious. Like, I'm sure she's smashed. I'm sure they have smashed. But she probably not taking him serious or no. Like, you literally just got a relationship with Cameron. Like, are you really about to go to a safari? Like,
But
they
Cameron
both
was
play games.
fucking anyhow.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
That's the end of the tea.
I'm just waiting for
I
the
had some other
mold.
tea, but I'm going to save it for next week. But yeah.
Why?
Just because of the topic.
Okay.
Okay.
So, good and bad. Should I start or you want to go?
Um,
Or bad and good, because we want to end with the good.
We can start. That's fine.
Okay. I need for you niggas to stop thinking that there's a war out on you heterosexual motherfuckers. There's no fucking war out. Bitches are not in group chats like the straight black man. Shut the fuck up. I want. So let me tell you. First, I'm in a Instagram. I'm in an insecure discussion group on Facebook because I really like the show or whatever. And the question, like, I just want to know, ladies, like, why don't y'all like straight black men? And of course, they tore him to shreds.
Of course.
But his justification was just like, well, y'all come on here, and it just sounds like y'all don't like black men. First of all, this is a fucking group about a fictional show, and we talk about the niggas that are on the show, and the niggas on the show, for the most part, are
Or fuck
trash.
shit.
Like,
Right.
who's the fucking man on there that we should be giving kudos to?
Right. I want to see where's the good man. Which one on this show?
Like, let me know, because all of them are trash. And not only that, but we be talking about them motherfucking bitches too. We get on Issa, we get on Mount, but so that was number one. Someone actually hit me up about the podcast though, to ask the podcast in combination with some of my recent Facebook posts and asked why I don't like black men.
Ooh.
First of all, the sad thing is,
wait a minute. This was somebody that listened to the podcast and asked why you don't like black men.
Yes.
What?
In combination with Facebook posts.
In a whole ass marriage,
say,
but okay.
With a black man, with an orange man, but a black man nonetheless.
So confused.
A black man that, never mind.
Okay. Keep it pushing.
Yes. Listen, I want so badly not to like y'all motherfuckers. I want y'all to know that if I could, there's only one woman that I and my sister and them know, like, I would be with. Because I just think she's amazing. But other than that, I'm just like, I love men. I fucking love black men. Like, I have never dated outside of my race. I have no intention of ever, if I was to leave my husband, I have no intention to ever date outside my race. I fucking love black men. I love the way y'all look. Most of y'all smell good. I just want y'all to fucking do better in life. Like, my only beef with y'all is that y'all are just fucking stupid. So don't be in my fucking inbox asking me why I don't like black men. Because if I didn't like y'all, I wouldn't talk about y'all. I don't like a lot of motherfuckers, and y'all never hear me say nothing about them, because when I don't like you, I just don't fucking talk about you. Mm-hmm. Do you hear me on here talking? Never mind.
Okay.
Catch it. So here in a group chat though, going after black men though, like this guy I used to date literally put on Facebook like, y'all stay caping for gay men, but gay men are out here taking y'all men. First of all,
they weren't ours
fucking stupid
to begin with.
Thank you. If they're fucking gay, they weren't ours. Like, what fucking dog? The only difference is that more people are just able to express themselves without like y'all being on some dumb shit. Right. Like, it's not like there are more gay men than there were before. They probably always were gay. They just didn't want to talk about it because motherfuckers are ignorant like you, and motherfuckers are still out here killing gay men. But to think that we are like in danger, no, we've always known that there's a fraction of men that are gay, just like there's a fraction of men that are broke, just like there's a fraction of men that are in jail. Our motherfucking pickings are slim. So we're only talking to the straight men, and we're only telling y'all to get y'all shit together because we already don't have that much to choose from.
Oh, okay.
So there's that. Get your lives together. Moving forward this week, I just want to have a more positive mindset about my weight loss journey because it is not going in the direction that I wanted to go.
Jesus love.
And I get into this mode when it doesn't go in the direction that I wanted to go, and I just quit. I don't want to quit. I just want to like the way that I look, and I'm at a point where like I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to see anybody because I'm so uncomfortable with my weight. And that's it.
Oh. Well, mine isn't super deep, as always. Pause. I just want to release this current administration. How about that?
Oh my God.
We kind of touched on that. Like, just release it and take it back to wherever the fuck it came from. And that is on a state and federal level. Goodbye. Yeah. That is what I would like to release. I would also like to release the rain that has been coming down the past 2 days. Rain does something to my mood. It makes me real blah and sleepy and non-motivational. So yeah, take the rain and the administration all together where you guys came from. Okay, please and thanks. Good things. Let's see. I got to vote. That was a good thing that happened. I had a parent-teacher conference with my daughter's teacher. And Bay is on what's called a level M reading level, which I actually had to look at because I was like, I don't know what that means. But she showed me a chart. And basically my daughter's in the first grade. So the mid of the year, they usually have you in the first grade at like an E reading level. Like that's what the norm, which you should be. But Bay, who is my daughter, is at a level M. And when she showed me the chart, basically a level M is at the end of the year for a second grader. So my boo is lit. And she's amazing. She's really, really good. And even though she's way beyond where she needs to be, we want to keep pushing her. So I'm going to start giving her higher level books to send home to read. And I'm just super excited and super proud of my daughter because she's my daughter. So some of those genes of mine. I'm so super excited. So I'm hyped about that. And then last but definitely not least, the Chatty Pattys podcast was actually featured this week on Dope Black Pods. So basically, obviously, it is dedicated to Dope Black Podcast. And we're just excited that we got featured. So those are the good highlights that I had. I want to speak continued, that's not a word, continued positive energy into this week. Like I said, this rain has been giving me like non-motivational blah attitudes. So I'm just hoping that with the rain calming down today and sun coming up tomorrow, that yeah, my mood and the weather can adjust accordingly. But that's about it.
I'm just praying for a great rest of the week.
Yep. This will be my
So,
Monday tomorrow. It's my first day in the
oh,
office.
well,
I mean, it's not technically Monday, listeners, but this will be my first day in the week in the office. I was out.
well, I wish, especially because I'm already 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
So you
Because
ready to you just like, look, I'm ready to be the hell out.
and them motherfuckers are acting like I'm about to be there forever, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. So,
You just like,
but I'm keeping it cute because everybody knows as the days progress, the work will lessen.
the work will
So,
lessen and the fucks will as well. This
right.
code
So,
switching will become more transparent, and you will see how many fucks I actually didn't give this whole time.
by the last day, Shay is gonna be in full force tap dancing on bitches' desks. Like
They're
I'm,
like, who is this? Oh, this is who y'all did not want to see this whole time I was at this job.
yeah. So
So yeah, there you have it. We thank you guys for tuning in to episode 14. As always, we ask you to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, which we
mm-hmm.
see that you guys have been doing, and we appreciate the love for sure. Make sure you, of course, hit us up and follow us on Twitter, the Chatty Pattys. Also, the same for Instagram, the Chatty Pattys. And if you need to find out where the hell you can hear us from, just go to our website, www.thechattypattys.com, and it'll be a nice, cute little list of everywhere that we are streaming, along with links. So you can go right onto there to the app or to the website on how you can hear us. And we have a cute little bio on who the hell we are, because I know some of y'all like, who are these hoes? Like, who the fuck are y'all? What y'all look like? Go ahead and
I
click on that,
went
and we there.
I went to the Apple store and I put up the Who Are We on all of the Apple laptops because that's the type of person I am. I felt like it was just like advertisement time, y'all. So,
Check
and
us
I feel like
out
we're cute. So,
for
there's
sure.
that. Y'all can
There it is.
also shoot us an email at thechattypattys@yahoo.com.
Yep. Let us know if you guys have any things you guys want us to chat about, or you just want to give us some feedback. Tell us how amazing we are. Anything, just hit us up and let us know. If you catch us on Instagram with our questions of the day, make sure that you guys weigh in and let us know what you're thinking. And we appreciate you guys for tuning in. And we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.